Needy puppy is needy. Good afternoon, Smegs. I nearly said good morning there. As you can tell, I can talk properly now. It's still swollen here a little, but well, I can almost bite down at the bike. I just tried doing that and it sort of hurt there. But it's going, it's disappearing, finally. Last night at work, I found while I was trying to eat my sandwiches, I could only take little bites because I could only open my jaw maybe about this far. Now I can do that with a bit of pain. I can do that, which is good, so I can sort of eat properly now. As for the weather, it's raining, so he does not want to go out. I've tried having him out the bike, didn't want it. I'm like, dude, you've got to go pee. So he went out and did his quick pee and come back in. He didn't need to do a poop though, because he already did it on the floor. That's the first time in a long time that he's done that. But I'm trying him with something now. I've told him I've removed his pad from there, that's where I normally keep it, so that if he needs to go tinkle, he has to tell me that he needs to go outside. I mean, usually he does go to the door these days and tells me that he wants to go out, and more often than not it's for a tinkle. We'll see how that goes. And for me this afternoon, I keep wanting to say this morning, nights, for me this afternoon I'm going to be editing the random video that I have filmed 3-4 weeks ago, I think it was. I do have a Smegchris review to film. Like I said, my jaw is still doing this thing. Not a good idea. Plus, I want to get the video up today. So I've decided that later on in the week, after I've done Smegchris, I will film that review for next week. Which reminds me, I need to do a script for Smegchris. Today is September 11th, which marks the 12-year anniversary of the New York attacks, atrocities, whatever you want to call it. I remember that day very well. Because I was on my way, well in fact it was just before I went to work for the afternoon shift, and back then I had Sky TV, and what happened was I was watching some film or something, I don't really remember what it was, or TV, and I've just turned it off to see the TV flash on, and I saw the Twin Towers. One of them was smoking and on fire, and I was like, what the heck's going on? So having Sky, I put Sky News on because that's like the current up-to-date thing. It's always live. And so I put that on, and sure enough, there it were. It was talking about an aeroplane had gone into one of the towers. And whilst I was watching, the second plane came in and did the same thing. And at that point, I was just really, really angry and upset and all that. And understandably so. And the thing that I remember the most was feeling helpless, that I couldn't do anything to help. This was maybe half an hour before I was off to work, so by the time I got to work I was seething, and I walked into the mess room where everybody is, and there were a lot of people there having the break or whatever, and there was a manager there, and as soon as I walked in I went, "Oh, hello Chris, how are you?" I just exploded. I just started shouting, saying I'm really upset, really angry, and I started telling them what's happening because they had no idea. And everybody's faces just dropped, and it was like, are you being serious? I actually got asked that, am I being serious? I'm like, go put your radios on. Go in the cars and put your radios on. It'll be on there. And sure enough, because this is before we had internet on phones and all that, so everybody's like going to check, and I think somebody had a TV somewhere in the building. I don't know where that came from. And they put that on, and sure enough, there it were. And, you know, it was a very upsetting day. Anyway, as a remembrance, I've written on my private Facebook page, in fact, I'm going to post it to my other one, my public one. I have written, I remember September the 11th, 2001, like it was yesterday. I remember the hurt I felt, the anger, the horror, the feeling of helplessness. I remember the terror on the faces who were at that atrocity. I remember the aftermath. I also remember the endurance, bravery and love that followed. I will always remember. And that's true. I will never ever forget that. I'm sorry that I've done a little sad note there, but that's me. Sometimes I do that. Look, a Harley Bomber's hit again. I'll hoover it up tomorrow. Right now I'm going to do a Smegchris script. Hopefully I'll film that tomorrow. If you're wondering where Holly is outside peeing or whatever he's doing. Anyway, who'd have thought that having a puppy would make the house a mess? I don't know. Anyway, I'm signing off. I need to get you guys edited before I go to work in 2 hours. Ah well, never mind. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and until then, peace out. Yeah.